It's a very sunny Sunday. Me and my daughters are going to take my wife out for Mother's Day meal later. Just going to do a cross-country ride. Oh, got some nice views. Looking up towards Garth Mountain there. The sun is in the west. Had a off here. You can track. So no matter how much you're trying to steer in it back, it can literally just down you there. You can see the conditions under tyre, very muddy. I'm going to take it extra cautious. And navigate your way around big chunks of rock, roots that are diagonal across this bridle path. It's not always about speed. I cleaned the rotor on the back wheel and that is much better now. In the woods. Warmer days now. Yesterday is around 11 degrees. Today is, and in the sun, it's about 14, which is so good. The wind is up as well, so hopefully this mud will dry out, which we added bonus. Not too much of a fan of the mud. Right, we'll do a right here to miss that path up there. That path is ridiculously muddy. And then we'll turn in here. We'll get up here, get down the bridle path. And we'll get, so we go down here, instead of just going across. Let's use gravity. It's quite windy. Glad I got the wind blocker on. Difficult to ride this sort of stuff. I am the only tyre mark coming down here. Oh, I'm the only one obviously riding cross country today. Just slow down here. I've got to climb in this mud. Now I put my weight on the rear wheel, buys me traction. Front end isn't lifting now. And there we are at the top. Ooh. Large number of visitors descend on this area on Sundays because of the museum here. There's some really good Roman artifacts over there. Definitely worth a visit. St. Fagans. Do not want to have to ride near a boat. They're just munching the grass over there. Maybe the farmer came over here to move the bulls back into his field. Let's pedal on. It's muddy. Whew. Right. I see dog walkers and I'm like, round here. Give them their space, innit? People walking their dogs in there. That's fine. Too muddy for me. The mud, oh the mud. Electrolyte tablets with vitamins. Oh. It is tiring. We're just getting down again along the perimeter wall of the mansion house of St. Fagans Museum, which is on my left. Just getting the old body English going on the bike so I don't slip in this horrible mud. A bit drier here because you can see the sun is on it. So like another day of sun and most of this mud will have dried up. And then it'll get flattened then, if there's more days of sun. It gets hardened up and shiny. Almost like it's laid concrete. But at the moment it's properly muddy, rough. It's not wet though. Sometimes it's better when it's wet, because it just falls off the tyres. When it's this sort of clay consistency, it literally just sticks to your tyres. I just hate muddy tyres, gotta be honest. So it doesn't just splash up on my back. I've got a mud guard on the back, you see. But you could put that same weight in a central location like bottom bracket or water bottle and it just doesn't feel as bad. So, don't know, rotational mass, you can just feel it. Centrifugal force, it's pulling it outwards, makes the bike feel maybe less responsive or harder to control, that sort of thing. Freightliner. Summer coming as well. It's just nice to have some decent pedals because I will be going faster. Another Freightliner. All the graffiti on the side of those carriages. Wow. So I don't really want to move over to clipless pedals on this bike. And then it just delaminated. Unlike a mountain bike tyre, which you can burp, you know, you can burp 5 psi and it's not a problem. But on a gravel bike, I realised that losing a little bit of air in a small casing, it makes a massive change to that wheel for stability. And I was just straight down onto my hip. Took probably 2 months to get back to feeling pain-free. The descent. Ooh. This will get me down to the gravel. Oh, the climb is now a descent. And this is where the fox ran into the bushes by here earlier. Yeah, there's been a fair amount of water, quite high. Yeah, lots of train traffic. Okay, so we're going to end up getting the tyres muddy again, unfortunately. Yeah, it's muddy here. This is where the path is dried out a little bit more. We're now back up at the trees, the small woods, and the perimeter wall of the mansion, which was the home of the Earl of Plymouth. Not the original Earl of Plymouth. That goes back even earlier. Right, here we go. Oh, that was well sketchy. Bye. Oh, luckily the tyres saved me then. Let's get some of the mud off these tyres. Oh, looks like Cannondale has been around here. It's keeping me cool. The wind blocker is very thin material, so, but I'm well up to temperature now. I'm actually sweating. Oh, I think when I get hot, I literally feel like I don't have the energy. Whereas now, let's push on at this bridle path. This is the one that came down earlier. There's my tyre mark. Again, I must be the only I must be the only cyclist out today. The routes that can catch people out is from that tree there, diagonally across the bridle path. I did take this Cannondale trail SE3 up at Cwmcarn, and I did Twrch, and I went back and did Cafal, and I gotta tell you, I loved it. It was doing the drops that my bike, which is 3 times the price of this, does, and I didn't feel like I was losing speed or like it was taking me like into dangerous territory. It just behaved. Plus, if you watch my Cannondale video, you'll see climbing was on a different level compared to the Giant Trance. I thought the Giant Trance was a good climber. This bike, considering it's got heavy rims, it's got the WTB STX 27 rims, so not the lightest, and it's got pretty chunky tyres, although I wouldn't change the rubber on these if I was riding Twrch and Cafal, because it is pretty chunky up there. The rock would cause problems with a thinner tyre. I've had issues up there when I've ridden with cross-country tyres. Although saying that, as long as you run the right pressures, it's not too bad. So Ardents, I used to have problems running an inner tube in the Ardents until I went tubeless in 2014. But then I was switching over to a cube stereo then with Schwalbe, and had a great time with the Schwalbes. I think you want more travel in the front when you're doing the steep stuff, and you want your fork to be well supported in the mid-stroke. But then on the big drops, I find you need that rear suspension. There's a hard tail. Your feet can bounce off if you're not clipped in, or even if you are clipped in, it makes for a harsh landing. Some of the drops are quite big and fast. I mean, even with climbing like this, on this muddy path, on the Giant Trance and the Rocky Mountain altitude, I'd have been struggling up there. But gotta say, this Cannondale Trail SE3, gotta give it to him.